somehow have access to the link now for the live stream, or do we?
Yes, I do. If I go to the share on youtube.com live dashboard.
Oh, how do you access that?
It's in Creator Studio.
Okay.
You know, the same place I got the key on the bottom right. There's a share.
Hello.
Okay. Hey, Michael.
The same place I got the key on the bottom right. There's a share. Okay, so I'll paste this in Slack and see.
Great.
People can do it.
Right. So there's a separate kind of Jitsi like dashboard and stuff where you have access to these things.
No, just the regular Creator Studio.
When you say Creator Studio, I don't know what you mean, but that's all right. I don't need to know what you mean. But like what I'm saying is, it's different from like I can't access the Creator Studio from within this Jitsi, can I?
No, you have to go to youtube.com and.
Okay, right. You're like I know, right? You mean the YouTube Creator Studio? I was thinking you meant a Jitsi Creator Studio.
Oh, YouTube Creator Studio.
Okay, yeah, got you. Totally.
Actually, that link I posted doesn't look like the last one. Maybe we'll figure this out, but last time I did it, it was video ID equals. This time it seems to be a reference to a share.
I can probably figure this out for you. I mean, if you're doing it connected to Agile Ventures,
reference to a share. I got it now. I looked in the wrong place. Here, I'm gonna paste it. So maybe either one of those links works, but
yeah, I mean, I can see it within the my live events in YouTube Creator Studio.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So we're live with the Martin Fowler Scrum Monday. First time on Jitsi, and we're recording this hopefully for future historians to view our endeavor. Yeah, I guess we'll start the Scrum, and I'll give a brief update. Right now I'm still working on a couple little bugs with Run Func PR, which is really interesting. It's a great Rails and Ember project, and I'm getting my picture on as a contributor in the about me and about the app box. If you do a PR, Robert, the organizer, puts your picture up in a little bio.
Wonderful.
So that's pretty cool.
Mm.
Other than that, I've been playing with the Jitsi, as you can see, and helping Lakesh a little bit on website 1, but he can talk about that. I think that's my update. Lakesh, who wants to go next? Did we lose Lakesh?
Yeah, sorry.
Oh no, he's there. I just don't see your video. That's fine.
Yeah.
Maybe you can go next and update Sam what you were doing last week.
Okay. Let me share the screen.
Yeah, the screen sharing needs a plugin, I think, but you might have it installed already.
Yeah. Can you see my screen?
Yep.
Okay, so
on it, so hopefully it's recording it.
yeah, when I click the Sam video, it's saying it's having connectivity issues, but for you it's working fine. I don't know.
I mean, I can hear you. I could see your screen when you're sharing it. So yeah, carry on sharing your screen and talking about it.
Okay, so I completed that cucumber test for website 1, which required testing whether I have submitted the batch for it's waiting for the right reason.
Right.
And there were some problems at first because this thing, but let's leave it because now it's working, and that has been resolved. Thanks to Alex, he presented a nice solution which simplified things, and now it looks uh, it looks readable and is I think it's good now. And I've also submitted a pull request to show that this thing fails if we do not apply the fix.
Right.
Yeah.
Great.
Is one thing though that this thing doesn't. There is no green tick here.
Yeah, it may be rebuilding. I've been spending some time merging some things and then updating the branches. So, like some of them are rebuilding as a result of having had the latest code merged in. Does that make sense?
Okay, and also there are these things. Changes unknown.
Changes unknown.
Yeah.
Yeah. Coveralls is behaving really strangely recently. I think we may need to switch away from it, but yeah, I wouldn't like. I think that's one of these things that we may need to fix separately. I don't know what they mean. And recently, when we go to the coveralls dashboards, it's like saying, oh, it's dropped by 0.7%, and then there's like, everything is still on 100. Like, just in the last 5 or 10 times I've been to coveralls, I've never had a consistent set of data from the thing. So yeah, we need to. That's a sort of a separate DevOps issue that we maybe need to address.
Okay. And there was this one issue on local support which said that yeah, this one, just saying that this thing doesn't work. I think we can easily fix it by
Okay.
adding a DNS entry into the from where we brought this domain.
Right. Yes. I've got that on Gandhi, and I've got full access to the zone file. Yeah. That's an interesting. If we can get it to work with, I'm sure it can work in principle. Whether it can work with Gandhi in our particular setup, but yes, it's certainly worth spending a little look at.
Okay, that's it.
Well, I think you had something else as well, Lokesh, is you also put in a fix for that issue for the video player not working on website 1, didn't you?
Yeah, I think that has been merged.
It was. I merged it this morning. Yeah, great for getting that done.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll go, if you're finished, Lokesh, and you're not blocked on anything, I will go next.
Yeah, sure.
All right. So yeah, I guess Matt's controlling the video feeds in the background. Interesting stuff. Great. Wonderful to be experimenting with this Jitsi thing. Yeah, so updates from me. So I had this private design sprint last week, which was pretty intense, and I got a bit of a cold on the Tuesday, and I had to push on and get it done, and so it was a bit challenging, and I'm a bit worse for wear after the whole thing. But very interesting to do a full design sprint in person with people. We managed to get 5 people to test the system at the end of the week, and yeah, very interesting to contrast that with our online one that we did a couple of weeks back. Maybe we can talk more about that in AV community meeting later on today. Yeah, so I'm back, not completely well, so I've ended up in bed, but I'm gradually getting things done. This morning, yeah, I was looking at Lokesh's fix, working through website 1 things, putting in my own pull requests to like maybe create an opportunities link so we can maybe list opportunities within Agile Ventures, specifically something that Craig had been suggesting. Yeah, for that one that we've merged in for the video player fix, I wonder, Lokesh, if it's worth trying to have a test for that. It's kind of one of these things where it's like we can't, like a true acceptance test to test the error would kind of like be picking up the JavaScript error in the browser, one could write a kind of unit Jasmine test to check that we're using embed rather than the /v. We might want to circle back on that in the same way we were just doing this thing with the cucumber test. Kind of you've put in the fix, which is great to discover the fix like that, but it's a little bit of a spike. I mean, I think it's particularly given that Thomas is coming into the general channel on our dimensions and saying, what's all this? I guess I'm just going to get out the fix because it's a nasty bit of broken functionality in the site. But we should maybe reflect on whether we want to do more testing on that. Other things going on for me. We've got the marketing meeting coming up at the top of the hour. I guess I'm trying to work out what I'm doing. I guess I'm going to be focused on trying to get all the website one local support things running. There's some new people interested in async voter. Other things happening today. AV community meeting, as I mentioned. That nothing blocking me. Just feeling a bit under the weather. That's me.
Oh, great. I think we got Michael looking like a little mom with glasses on my screen.
Yeah, I see that there's a way to set. I've managed to set my Gravatar email. If you can go to hey, Michael.
So so basically I was messing around with community maintenance support last week, and I got some basic getting a request in for the data to validate it, and was messing around with the model. Right now we have a logistic regression. And our three features, as you know. So basically, I noticed that the three features were all highly correlated. So we're getting into possibly multicollinearity.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of did a PCA reduction, which you're probably familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
Which is supposed to basically theoretically be like you can take those three numbers and kind of
turn them into one with the principal components analysis.
One while maintaining the greatest amount of variation
right
from the original numbers. And it's almost magically kind of makes the numbers it makes basically the trade-off curve like pretty better. Like about 10% better. I'm not sure. Like I was discussing it with my friend, who's a data scientist, and he was like, "Oh, that's not something I would have necessarily done," because I think he was getting at multicollinearity isn't necessarily a huge problem because it just makes the problem ill-posed,
right?
So that you can't interpret the coefficients as well. But there seems to be something else going on with the data or whatever. But and then I think that normally a lot of people use PCA when they kind of have the cursor dimensionality going on,
right?
And three components is like three-dimensional space, so you don't quite have the cursor on.
Yeah,
if you had like 50 or something, then you'd have it like completely going on.
Yeah, well, and I think we were also trying to turn those three into a single trend as well, weren't we? I mean, the PCA is another way of.
So he said, "Oh, maybe maybe you somehow stumbled upon a latent variable. I guess like a trend or something. And he said that he would have probably went with like if you were trying to do that, he would have went for like exploratory latent variable analysis, it's called.
Yeah. So, well, great stuff. We should maybe set up a time to get, have a proper session and get into the details there.
Yeah. All right. So,
are you blocked by anything?
Not really. Just the other thing is, I've been thinking about, there's other models we could use before besides logistic regression, like k-nearest neighbors or linear discriminant analysis.
Yes.
But anyway, I did with the PCA transformation, I did plot basically the two values where I plotted the PCA on the X dimension.
Yeah.
The outcome 0 or 1 on the Y dimension.
Right.
So you can see whether you're getting, because that linear logistic regression, basically it's a linear classifier.
Right.
So the quote unquote decision boundary is a line.
Right.
So you need some kind of linear separation on the
yeah.
And you kind of get it in the data. Like if you look at it, there is like a separation.
Right.
It's not like hugely clean.
Sure.
But it's there.
Yeah.
A lot of noise.
Right.
So it is detecting some kind of signal, I think.
Yeah. Yes, I think we should definitely have a session on it. I have ideas about maybe applying similar analyses to the website data as opposed to the Slack data. I think might give us something, more interesting to work with. But yeah, I think all of the, the analysis is valid. So I think, Matt, then are we done with the Scrum? We've gone around everybody. We've checked for blocks. So we should kind of draw a line for the Scrum, or is there anything else that we need to cover in the Scrum? Matt's muted. You're muted at the moment.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, is there anything else anybody forgot to mention, or because I guess
I think to say fantastic to Matt and Lokesh for investigating Jitsi and looking into it, and this seems to have worked. There's lots of exciting new features here that I think we want to keep on pushing on. I mean, maybe we will discover that there are some further problems. I mean, I've been watching the live stream as well. We seem to have like a live chat available in the live stream within YouTube itself, which is interesting. And I'll certainly try and use Jitsi for running the scrums. We'll I mean, it's interesting that it then takes us to so potentially we can switch out Hangouts and use Jitsi maybe. Then, gosh, can we, get the start Jitsi button and this, that, and the other? It's sort of, yeah. I guess there's still, event manager. We still want people to be able to see, kind of like, we need WebSockets or something to like let people know that things are going live and so on. Anyway, lots to work out.
That's kind of where I want to go. Is where are we going to talk about where to go next? I know Federico wanted to make kind of a project out of it, but I think it's more like part of website one or event manager or just AV.
Yeah. I mean, I guess
how we can decide like what's next. And
I mean, it seems to me that like I would say this week it's like sensible that we continue like using Jitsi. We're seeing if it's working. We start replacing it, maybe within the context of the website one where we say, okay, let's see if we've got an option to replace the Hangout button with a Start Jitsi button and do some simple things there. Then, I was thinking about this. I mean, I guess we've got 5 minutes here just for a little chat is that, so for example, Ryder would love to start, you know, an Elixir project. I noticed with like async voter, gosh, what's his name? Raphael is really reluctant to use like a separate microservice like the one that we already created. And we've got this sort of trade-off between, okay, like we've got website one, you know, let's focus on upgrading that versus let's start other things. There is, although like maybe, you know, everything could be dealt with in an elegant monolith, at the same time, one of the advantages of sort of a microservice setup is that components of it can be worked on in different languages more easily. Do you know what I mean? And when people are like really excited and motivated to work in a particular thing, you know, if we say now you've got to work in Rails 5 for that, we maybe lose their energy and enthusiasm. Do you know what I mean? The trade-off, of course, is that if we've got X many different microservices, then like having them all coordinate with each other is another thing. I mean, you know, you push complexity out in one area and it pops up in another one. So I mean, I think
maybe it's like you said, we spend another week and experiment a little bit and see where people get excited to.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I'm definitely inclined to avoid the sort of administrative overhead of like, right, here's a new project and it's got this person as manager and this person and this is, yeah, I mean, that seems,
that's too much.
Yeah, like it yeah. But that also reflects, I think, a difference in Federico's. He's a big long-term planner. He loves to like, right, let's get all the structure ready for this thing to happen in the future. And I'm like, let's do something, you know, like immediately and see what happens. What I think is, I probably won't be running a design sprint next week, so we could be looking to do some sort of coding sprint. I mean, you know, we did our design sprint a couple of weeks back. I don't think Lara has got the what's it called? The content testing thing set up even yet. So hopefully we can make sure that happens this week. But I guess that it seems to me the two big things that we've got are, one is this like updating how we present and package the premium thing. And the other thing is how we like, you know, handle people getting into these sorts of, you know, Jitsi events and so on. So it would be, yeah, I don't know. I mean, would we need to do another partial design sprint? If we wanted to, and what maybe that would be the thing to do, I don't know, is maybe we should be planning a kind of either a partial design sprint to test some aspects of, you know, using Jitsi and the flow of how people get into meetings, or we just say, you know, let's spend a coding sprint or something. Anyway, but I think that's probably, we can maybe work that out during the course of the week. Coming up to, you know, Friday, we'll have our website one meeting, and we can make a plan for the following week of like what makes the most sense. Does that?
Oh yeah, that totally. You don't need to rush things.
But yeah, great work getting this set up. And yeah, so now, do you have? Can you stop the stream from?
Yeah, stop it right now. Okay, stop.